Hello, friends, and welcome to the final war of Season 5. Today we're taking on these guys, because I can't read whatever language that is. I'm in my normal battle group, and I'm taking in my normal team. So, first fight I sped up. Nothing much going on here. This is a 6-star unduped Daredevil classic, a champ that I actually have myself. Going in with Blade, and nothing really exciting happening in this fight. It's very straightforward. Although I was reminded yet again of how glad I will be next season when hopefully they remove this bleed immune buff to everybody, because this fight would be over in less than half the time if I was able to bleed him. So, Daredevil, very easy champ, and unduped he has next to no utility. So just a diversity play here. No problem. Now the next fight is a pretty good one. So this is a 4-star duped Black Widow high sig, as you'll see. I like fighting Black Widow mostly because it forces me to pay attention, because you can't, parries will most of the time not work, as you're seeing, and her evade chance is so low that it's easy to forget that it's even there, and then you get, punished by it. Kind of going off that, I've always thought, maybe bought into the conspiracy a little bit, that Black Widow's evade chance is actually coded to be much higher than it is displayed in her info text. I think it's something like 3% maybe in the text, but it seems like it happens way more often. And I think, I don't know, she evades like twice in a row during this fight. It just seems it is really too high. She evades about as often as you should pull a 4-star from a PHC, and those results do not match in my experience. So, all right. So other than that, pretty easy fight. No hits taken. Always good. All right. So moving on to the first mini boss node, which is the buffet recovery node. We have a 5-star Duke Domino. So our SIG level I checked is at 94 or thereabouts. And since this was the last war of the season, I wanted to make sure that I could, clear the rest of the path. This morning I did this. So I put on, every kind of boost. I didn't want to blow it against Domino in the last war of the season. Little did I know at this point that the war was pretty much already over, because this team that we were up against, they just tore through our defense overnight. They cleared all 3 battle groups with 14 kills total, or 14 deaths rather. So it was just, and had I known that, I would not have boosted up here. I would have just saved my items. So Domino, I'm getting off a few good parries here, as you'll see. And I didn't think that you could parry her initial medium attack. And she's clearly too far away to be attacking me with a light attack. So I'm not really sure if that was changed or what. Trying to push her to her special 2 when I can, because all you have to do is just back up a few times. Got my petrified debuffs up right away, so that cancels out buffet. And again there, I was able to parry her. My unlucky runs out just in time, so I'm able to dodge that final grenade or whatever, the gun, whatever she throws there at the end. Get off a couple more debuffs. Again, able to parry her. The parries were just in my favor. It was really great. Trying to get her to throw one more special 2 here. I don't think she's cooperating, so the buffet just kills her in the end there. So, really good fight. Domino, not a good matchup for Void, but luckily she was dead before Fear of the Void had a chance to fail. All right, going in, I had scouted this to be a Hulkbuster on an armor node. I think this was a 455, and I couldn't believe that somebody would actually rank up a Hulkbuster to 455. I mean, you must be praying hard for a buff in 2019 if you're doing that, or you just must be so wealthy in Tier 2 Alpha that you're ranking up the lowest of the low here, because he really, I mean, we're 30 hits in and he's already below halfway. So really, has got nothing going on for him. I don't need to go on and on about how bad a character he is. He should be cooler because it's a great design, and I'm a huge Iron Man fan, huge Hulkbuster armor fan, but this champ sucks. So, all right. Next up is a King Groot on the Recovery Arc Overload node. I was determined not to get punched in the face by a heavy attack at the beginning here. So I just take the block hits and go in with the punishment there. Not really worried about the Arc Overload or his regen here because the debuffs will take care of him pretty quickly. Get a couple unlucky with the debuffs at first here, so the fight may go on a little longer than I want. No big deal. Parry in there. Don't want to push him to a special 2 because you can't fully evade it, and I don't think you can punish it too. You might be able to dodge the last bit of the poison breath, but it's really not worth it. All right, so finally got a petrify up. So the between that and the other debuffs, his regen is almost completely gone. You see, it's only ticking for 14 there, and the degen is just killing him. So just trying to wait it out. I think another Arc Overload triggers right here at the end and kills him immediately, which is just so much fun. I love playing with Void, man. All right, last fight of this war is a Mephisto on the Strike Back Recovery node. A couple weird things happened in this fight. So when I try and dodge his special 1, I think this happens 2 or 3 times in this fight. The Dex, right there, so the Dex doesn't trigger. And because I wasn't holding down on the block, he lets go of his block, and then I get tagged. And I think, okay, it happens once. Maybe it was just my fault. But then it happens again, right here, and I get tagged a second time by the special 1. And I don't know what's going on. The dexterity, the swipe back, just straight up didn't work. It worked that time, so I don't know. So I don't want to push him to a special 2 because the Ore of Incineration will give him power, and I don't have any Petrified debuffs up yet. So at this point, I'm thinking, let's try and whittle him down close to the end, and then we'll give good old Sentry a kill here. So, all right, so he's out of souls. There, third time, the dexterity just straight up fails. Hit him once, and Sentry comes in to finish off the fight and the war and the season for me. Thank you, Sentry. Appreciate it. Now, go away. Alright, so that is it for me and my path and my season. So we, as I mentioned earlier, we got pretty much smoked in this war, but this was a Platinum 3 alliance, and they definitely played like it. 14 total deaths. You're not going to beat many teams when they play like that. So thanks for watching, and good war to you, and hope you guys have a great week.